Hi, I'm Carcina.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome. It's a crazy day. It's a crazy day. About some time yesterday, I just didn't have time to go over it yesterday, but it's a lot of news going on right now. So it's a lot of video. It's going to be popping up, especially for my memberships, especially for my Patreon. So we're definitely going to be covering that. Now, we're going to look into a lot of different aspects as to why certain people chose to do topics and things that didn't normally matter. Now, but this situation here it was crazy from day one. And that's the part that really made it jump out for everybody else, is how off the chart this is. Like, wow, this is really from left field that somebody would take this type of approach and move in this direction. So right now, looking at the paperwork and the case number, I can't believe somebody actually did this. Anton Daniels' family is suing Corey Holcomb and the Corey Holcomb show. Says Leslie Daniels and Sharita Daniels. But Corey Holcomb isn't being sued. Now, what is crazy about the lawsuit are the claims. Defamation per SE. That's one, defamation. Then false lighting. Then defamation of Leslie Daniels with respect to the t-shirt images. Defamation of Sharita Daniels with respect to the t-shirt images. Intentional infliction of emotional distress suffered by Leslie Daniels. International infliction of emotional stress suffered by Sharita Daniels. And what he did was kind of left it open to where he could add more members, I guess, to the 5150 show. I have no idea. Who would he add to this? Now, breaking over the claims, do he have a case that is winnable? Most civil suits are done in the course of, we want to try to make this case not just win the case. Like, a lot of these cases and things are filed so they can settle out of court. So that's why people normally make cases like this. You can see the case right there. So they normally do this to keep from having to actually go back and forth and deal with all of these different type of situations. So when you start looking at the parties involved in the actual statements about the information that came up, and what you're realizing is that when it comes to the parties being mentioned, it's kind of crazy to me But when they says there's no Anton Daniels in the situation, and this is against the 5150 show. Corey Holcomb and the 5150 show. They're the main culprits that they want to go after. So upon information and belief at all times that Holcomb produced and appeared in a weekly podcast show. Here's what's going to be hard for them to win. You were on this show. So the defamation warning that you're filing is not when you were on the episode. So everything that was involving the episode happened when you were off the episode that he's basically suing for here. Saying like in the following weeks to come before that, now, plaintiff was a 17-year-old senior in high school at the time, as mentioned in the complaint, when this incident happened, right? Now, here's what's going to be hard to be proven, is the actual case together. Me looking at this case, I'm like, what can he really prove here? You know, I'm looking at, is there anything he could put? Yes, we have a lot of news that appear on there. We have the Diddy case. I've actually done that on the Patreon this morning. Now, to describe in the lawsuit in paragraph 6, upon information and belief at all times, here within mentioned, defendant Corey Holcomb produced and appeared on a weekly podcast known as the Corey Holcomb 5150 Show, or the 5150 Show. The show consists of long, rambling, profanity-laced monologues by Corey Holcomb, interspaced by product commercials and solicitations. Now, first it says Core Holcomb, like they misspelled it, but it's crazy. And it says, upon information and beliefs at the time mentioned, the 5150 Show is a business entity of unknown forms and produces and airs the Corey Holcomb 5150 Show. Said business entity has a principal place of business at 755 East Washington, whatever. So he goes ahead to push this narrative to the general public. Then he decides that, okay, we're going to go down this road where they don't even understand what it is that we're going to pursue. And looking at this entire case, it's weak. It's so weak. I can't even believe he would do it except for attention. And I'm like, dude, you're buying this kind of attention. First, how you're going to say she was defamed. You're going to have to prove and document every single thing that happened. Your daughter could be called in to testify. Why would you put your family through this? You really want to put your family on a deposition stand? Hey, some people do anything, man. I mean, they want to make it in all different facets. And I'm like, I'm scratching my head because I'm like, does Corey need this? What does he need this for? He's already doing this thing. Why would this be so important to Corey? It just doesn't make sense. They say plaintiffs are informed and believe that, defendants named as Doe, along with named defendants, are responsible for some manner and occurrences within alleged plaintiff's injuries, alleged legally or proximately said by the defendant, where it was alleged that any act or omission was also done or committed by a specific name, defendant, or defendants generally. Plaintiffs hereby intend, therefore, to allege and do allege that the same act or omission was done and committed by each other, every defendant named as Doe, and each named defendant both separately in concert or conspiracy with the named defendant. So that means he can go and add Craig to it. If he wanted to add some people, he could put Craig in there. Be like, Craig did this, Craig did that, then Craig said this. So, again, we're dealing with a situation that is unprecedented and by a lot of standpoints, just not usually what we're used to seeing. Putting him in a false light, it's going to be hard to prove because here's the thing. He didn't use their names. The shirt does not say or depict any names. They're cartoon characters. The t-shirts is not of your family that I can remember, unless Corey had another shirt that had the picture of the family on it. These shirts didn't have these shirts that he had were cartoon, like drawn characters. So my thing is, did his daughter even see these shirts? Really? And then here's the other thing. She's not named in the shirt. She's not. And every one of those shirts, allegedly, the person that resembles you are on the shirts. So why you are not on there on the lawsuit? Wouldn't this defame you? So you were okay. Just your wife and children was on the shirt, allegedly, because we don't know who those people were on the shirt. He never said. He never said that was your wife. It never said it was your daughter. Never said that was you on the shirt. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. Like I said, most of this stuff is done to settle out of court. I'm just really surprised that he went this angle. I never thought he would do something like this. They want expenses of the lawsuit, everything filed. Mm-mm-mm. They said he twice photographed plaintiff Leslie Daniels standing immediately in the back of an American flag. The defendant Holcomb clearly identified Leslie Daniels as the daughter of Anton Daniels and made disparaging and highly offensive statements about the plaintiff and her father. Well, that one could be that could stick because he used the photo, but the photo was public. So unless the photo was private, they wouldn't really have a case. So he would have to file a lawsuit in order to make it stand. But even with the lawsuit filed, false light, saying placed in a false offensive public light, is his daughter. The T-shirt, his daughter. His wife depicted as an ape on merchandise. T-shirt, that stuff won't stick. Called a homophobic slur on air. That's probably not going to stick either for the daughter. I mean, I don't know how the judge is going to take that. I don't know if it even goes to a judge. All the T-shirt stuff's going to get thrown out if it goes to court. So the mother won't, she won't get that at all. And IIED for the wife and the daughter, that's the distress. Now you got to show therapy. You got to show all these receipts that this caused them harm and distress, right? It's going to be hard to prove. Unauthorized commercial use of her photo. And that was for the daughter. Now, once again, you have to understand what is going on here. Saying that the daughter was what he called an ugly ass dyke. They said that blurred the lines. That went past a certain extension of what people were supposed to do. And but like again, that's taken out of context. No, I don't want to even go down that way. That's why I don't mention people's daughters and stuff like that. You don't want to get involved in this melee when it goes to this level. Because when it gets to this level, that's when you start seeing things unravel. Could Corey go down for this? No. I don't see this going in the way they think it's going to go. But then, they have this agenda against Corey Holcomb, so you never know who might come in and support Anton. And they just needed somebody to get something on paper to throw out there. I think it's this, though. If you got a problem with Anton, just take it up with Anton. There's plenty of material there. And I never was in his political content, his, conservative ass kissing that he do. I didn't really follow that. So I'm like, I didn't know really too much about him, except for, like I told you, from Kwame Brown. I would have never ran into Anton Daniels. My cousin, he went to visit this dude. Went to one of his shows. Thought he was a real Christian. My cousin's a Christian, so he thinking Anton is on his level. What he found out was man, I didn't know this side of Anton. I'm like, Anton got a lot of sides. So of course, the wife he has is in step with everything that he wants to do. So of course, let his wife go ahead and file the suit while he stand back. Now the biggest question is why he's not in it. So they can't say, well, Anton Daniels is in the lawsuit. Now they're trying to throw it all on the wife when no one's buying that. We all know what this is. But to me, it's just, wow. When he held up the show and said, hey, leave my family out of this. And it's got two monkey women on there and a guy in a weird looking suit with a beard on. It doesn't say any names, but you in this lawsuit equated it to your family. I don't even know as far as what's going on in that situation. Mika came and went. That came and went. It had its run where they talked about it for as long as they could, and then it went away. I don't even really deal with Corey Holcomb news because Corey Holcomb doesn't really, he's not into my sphere of content. This is the first time Corey Holcomb has ever really crossed over into this lane. So it's where did he come from? The relationships are I didn't, this was not our wheelhouse. He goes to the NBA games for a look. He'll take a picture, then he'll leave. He's not a Piston fan. So to say, oh, he's a Piston fan, he's not. He's someone who will go rent out a box to try to show he got bread and pool like that so he can conduct some type of meeting and all this stuff. Now, what we don't do, meaning as people who are fans, he don't even watch the game. He'll get up and leave or whatever. We just doing this for a look. They don't even care about the game. And it's obvious. He couldn't probably name you 3 players that's on the team. He didn't know anything about the Jay Ivey went down situation. They was like, okay, well, you would think Corey Holcomb would know. He's reading this thing on the paper. Yeah, and it says he plays for us. He used to play for us. like used to play for you don't know who Jaden Ivey is? So this showed me right away. I know his stick. It's like this isn't your wheelhouse, but you want to make it on both sides of the coin. Does he have a case for a countersuit? He has a case for getting thrown out. Now, are they gonna go all the way to court for this? Like go all the way to trial? Is that what Anton really wants? He wants this to go to a trial? If so, I don't even understand it. Mm-hmm. That's the nation. Like that's the narrative they want to run with. The narrative you see right now is the narrative they're gonna run with. If you look at the lawsuit, they left it upended so that everyone out there can run behind somebody else. Right. They could run behind somebody else and try to build themselves back up. Like if they try to go out, let's say all these other people, anybody who was really displaying his daughter and wife in a negative image and a negative light, like if I say something, I'm coming directly at Anton. I don't need to go after nothing else. And I go after character when I see something isn't right. Like I see the different personalities, seen them all. So when I showed you the personalities I seen, I ain't seen Terrell in a while. I seen Marcus. I seen the LL Cool Food. I haven't seen Antoine in a while. I haven't seen Ian and Darth in a while. I haven't seen AD. I haven't seen Shayla's in a while. Haven't seen Anton in a long time. Anton ain't been around in a minute. But Aurelius, he's been the one I've seen a lot. Aurelius, Dwayne, and King Thaddeus. They've been controlling the board. They've been holding the light. Those three right there. Aurelius, Dwayne, and King Thaddeus. They've been holding the light down. Dwayne is the one that got him in trouble with the whole what that chick he was with, Mika. Yeah, that was the old nasty Dwayne. Butt naked in robes. Yeah, that's what he's doing. So when you go in that route, that's how it gets crazy and things get misconstrued. Yeah, all his different personalities. He has a lot of them. I'll tell you, I can tell you what all of them do. Anton is a God-fearing Christian man who just wants the best for his family and wants to have a family to be successful and, and bless everyone. He just wants to make things in the world. Aurelius is a guy who's conservative, right wing. Everything has to be to perfection. Dwayne, nasty, dirty, perverted, on porn sites late at night, looking for chicks in the DMs. That's Dwayne. King Thaddeus, I'm rich. I'm better than you because I have money and you don't. Arrogant, rude, crazy, dangerous. Then you got Ian. When he's Ian, he's an entirely different character altogether. He wants to match everything. The hat's got to match the sweater, the watch, and the shoes all got to match. Darth, his video gaming personality, where he goes and compares all video games and plays them and go online streaming. He's Darth. Then when he gets mad and starts throwing an angry, mad rage, but with nothing come behind it, he's AD. That's that rage. When he's in there voguing, doing duck lips and fish lips, whatever, in the pictures, voguing like a female, he's Shayla's Aretha. Terrell, he's the one that often just gets into fights and lose every single one of them. That's Terrell. He loves to swing on people, but then gets knocked out. As you notice, the glasses ain't on his face because it got knocked off his face. That's Terrell. Marcus is, I care for my brother, man. I'm doing this for the black people, the brother, the empowerment. That's when he's Marcus. LL Cool Fool is when he's trying to dress up in weird teenagers' hats and clothes and trying to be like he a rapper. Trying to dress like rappers. And Antoine, the scammer. The guy that loses everybody's money on a scam or investment that he told them to do and it didn't work. And they look around at him like, hey, what's happening here? I don't know, I lost money too. That's Antoine. So when I speak directly. That's right. He split. Like when I did the video Split, it's based on him. His own wife stated that he had multiple personalities. I didn't say that. His wife said that. I'm quite sure he has more. Those are just the ones I saw. And I don't watch him that much. And I saw those personalities and he bounced from one personality to the next. Like real quick. You'll see it. One to have the light dip out, then the other one comes in, dip out, the other one come in, then it comes back to the other one. It's like they both passing the light. But I've seen those three characters a lot. Since all this stuff has went down, those other characters kind of went back into their hole. But like on that relationship show, you see Dwayne show up a lot. Well, you used to. Since he got in trouble, you don't see Dwayne as much. When did I ever say Corey Holcomb is always right? See, that's what I'm saying. You said Corey Holcomb was right. He should have left the man family alone. That's Corey Holcomb's situation to mention. You ask Corey Holcomb why he did what he did or what he didn't do. Corey has said some outlandish things, period. A lot. He's known for saying outlandish things. Now, all of this, the lawsuit is coming and the crackdown. from the lawsuit, looking at the actual lawsuit, it looks very thin. It's like they really have one thing that they want to try to sue for, and everything else is a pile on that should get kicked out immediately. Anything about the T-shirt, that's done. You're not getting that. Seven counts. Like, really, you probably got a case with probably one count, maybe, but then you'll have to put your daughter through strenuous BS that I don't think he's going to want to do. And we'll see where it goes. But do I think that Corey Holcomb? I think that really is that all of this media has turned into foolery. Remember how they say YouTubers, all the YouTubers do is beef with each other? Anton, these are called championship rings by the team that's supposed to be in your city that you went to the game to. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, don't you find it a little strange, though, that these people keep coming up with these excuses and ways to make things happen for themselves? Like, you look at Stephen A. Smith, right? He going to war with Matt Barnes. Yeah, I don't even know why he doing that, but Matt is seeming to go after them. Now Steven Jackson's involved. They want to keep themselves in the algorithm of beefing with each other. But they the main ones talking about, see, we're on something. We don't need to do all that. But they were all the smoke. All the black podcast shows are basing themselves off beefing with each other and going against other black podcast shows to keep themselves in the algorithm. Because they're basically saying all black people care about is garbage. So we're going to feed it to you. See, but then they criticize YouTubers. Remember? Oh, they're the beef sectors and all y'all do is beef. If that's the case, why the hell are you guys doing it who making hundreds of millions of dollars from networks? Why are you slumming it down here with the dinner thieves? You see? Now, these are supposed to be the upper echelon, right, of media. Stephen A. Smith, he's sports media. He's the giant. Why are you coming down here cursing like you a gang member off the streets? Yo, you don't know what the F, you got me effed up. Like, why are you trying to come down here and act like you a goon and a gangster on YouTube? But then the next morning at 6 a.m., oh, yeah, well, they just got to play better. It's like, come on, dog. It's like, stop. You're like almost 60, dog. If you ain't 60 already, and you already playing this crazy role that don't need to be played. My thing is why black people are still falling for it. Now, when people realize what has been said or done and bend and folded and molded into different situations, then they will understand what it's like. They will understand what it's the true nature of it is. They will understand that, hey, this is a part that we need to all get around, right? This is something that needs to go down, it needs to happen, it needs to be processed in a certain way. Because if we don't, this is going to continue to hinder us and we won't be able to grow from it. So when you see people that's out here trying to make a name for themselves and they're doing it based off only this is the danger of it. Because everybody say, well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and get this done. Let's push the narrative. Now, when you push the narrative, you know what's gonna come behind that? When you start pushing a narrative and you push everyone into a box, you know what's gonna happen behind that? Absolutely nothing. No one's gonna care. No one's gonna do it. You're gonna try to get the most views because of this trending topic. So you got to cover it. By me having a large platform, or considered to be large platform, people are going to continuously hit you up until you cover it. Like if you're getting it, it's like, all right, well, I got to say something about it. Like this. People was like, dude, what's going on? This has been going on for like 10 hours straight. Somebody's going in there messaging about what's going on. Man, when you start seeing people that it don't make any sense when you see the whole thing play out and it's not making sense to you, that's because it's not on the same wavelength. Like as you look at this lawsuit, it should be thrown out. Like seriously, it should be thrown out. This shouldn't even stand. I'm looking at it like this is done. I don't see it. But if it happens, it happens. Do they come up with an agreement to not mention anybody? But it's going to be hard to prove she was defamed when she's a 17-year-old girl, what she picked on at school, what the principal's going to say if they go through this whole process of really putting your daughter through the ringer. I don't know if not Corey Holcomb, but Anton Daniels really want to put his daughter through all that. That's why I was surprised he would even do something like that or be behind his wife and his daughter making this lawsuit. Mm. Yeah, well, when you look at it on the scale, you start to take things away that doesn't really make sense. No, he said that's cap. Do I think Puff is coming home? He should already been home. But yeah, this stuff is finna end right here. I mean, yes, it's definitely yeah, it definitely the lawsuit sucks. I think it was unnecessary. But for Corey Holcomb, it gets I mean for Anton Daniels, it puts him right back into the mix again. That's because the majority of the people don't. Yeah, majority of the people don't really like or understand or know how the direction is going to take them moving forward. Me, I've always been different, so I've always thought on the playing fields of you know where this should really end up. And as short as this lawsuit is, I don't see the wife getting anything out of it. The only thing he would have is the daughter, probably because of the photo. But I think it was public. I don't think it was a private photo. It was a public photo. But they said, hey, she's a minor. She was 17. So it's going to be I doubt if that happens. Uh, Judge will look at this as like, why are you wasting the court's time with this? The t-shirts won't stick. Nothing about the t-shirts will stick. So, like I said, they look to settle things out of court more than anything. That's why these lawsuits are filed. Oh, obviously. I mean, it should be. So on that note, we are up out of here. He said, I would know. I'm a lawyer, which I hate admitting on YouTube. Just saying, I'm not some yokel off the street. Opinion is the quality of a lawsuit. Will soon be exiting his position. He says, how the hell a 17-year-old find out about it? Because her dad, dumbass, told her. She and her classmates were not up watching the 5150 show. Promise. Well, it's not about that. She wouldn't, you're a lawyer, so you would know it's not even about that. She don't even have to see the show. Okay, that's not even on the table. Like, hey, you got to see the show. They don't have to see the show. It could be her friends at school saw the show. Everybody else saw the show, and they teased her at school, so she wouldn't even have to see the show. You know how they could pull that, right? That would get twisted in a heartbeat. Yeah, that narrative would definitely get that. They would flip that narrative fast. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank you for your time. We'll chat later. Gone.